December 31st, 1995. French President François Mitterrand knows he only has a few days left to live. Terminal prostate cancer has left him with zero chances. On New Year's Eve, he gathers 30 of his closest friends at the Élysée Palace for his final meal. The table is loaded with the Republic's finest delicacies, fresh oysters, foie gras, roasted capons. But the main course, the real reason the French elite gathered that night, was something else entirely. Something that was already teetering on the edge of the law. When the main dish was served, the guests, including the president, draped large white linen napkins over their heads, completely hiding their faces. And under those fabric domes, in absolute dead silence, they consumed what many food critics call the greatest culinary sin in human history. Today, we aren't talking about ordinary food. We are talking about power, hypocrisy, and gastronomic decadence. We're going to dissect a dish that is strictly banned in the European Union, yet billionaires, politicians, and Michelin-starred chefs are still willing to break the law for it. Welcome to the dark, underground world of the Ortolan Bunting. The ortolan is a tiny migratory bird weighing less than a single ounce. There is nothing demonic or majestic about it. For centuries, it was just a regular part of the European ecosystem. But back in the days of the Roman Empire, local aristocrats discovered a highly specific physiological glitch in this species. Before its long migration to Africa, the ortolan gorges itself to store up fat. The Romans realized something sinister. If you artificially alter the bird's daylight cycle, its metabolism completely spirals out of control. In ancient Rome, they would simply gouge the bird's eyes out, plunging them into eternal night. By the 18th century, the French made the method slightly more humane. They started locking the ortolans in pitch-black wooden boxes. The mechanics are simple and incredibly cynical. Stripped of its biological clock, the bird thinks the constant darkness means winter is coming, or that it's the night before a massive flight. So it starts eating, non-stop. For 21 straight days, the bird is force-fed a premium diet of millet, figs, and grapes. Its weight quadruples. It turns into a pulsating, swollen ball of pure, sweet fat. The bird becomes so morbidly obese that it can barely stand on its own 2 feet. And right at this moment comes the climax of the recipe, a process that makes any modern human's blood run cold.
You don't slaughter an ortolan with a knife. You don't snap its neck. For haute cuisine, that is far too barbaric. The live bird is plunged headfirst into a snifter of Armagnac, a high-proof French brandy. From a gastronomic standpoint, this isn't just an execution, it's an instant chemical marinade. Gasping for air, the bird takes deep breaths, filling its tiny lungs and stomach completely with top-shelf alcohol. The brandy instantly hits the bloodstream, preserving the sweet fat and meat from the inside out. After that, the carcass is plucked, leaving only the head and beak, and roasted in a pan for exactly 8 minutes. But the most twisted part is how you actually eat it. You don't cut an ortolan into pieces. You grab it by the head, put the entire bird in your mouth, leaving only the beak outside, which you then bite off. Elite chefs call this the flavor core.
So why do presidents and billionaires hide their faces under linen napkins? The official culinary excuse is practical. The heavy fabric creates a closed environment, trapping the delicate aromas of roasted meat and brandy, forcing the eater to inhale the concentrated scent. But there is a second, historical, and far more honest reason. The French aristocracy has been deeply tied to the Catholic Church for centuries. Gluttony is one of the 7 deadly sins, and consuming an innocent creature in such a twisted, cruel manner was considered the ultimate form of hedonism. The tradition of throwing a cloth over your head started as an attempt to hide your sin from the eyes of God. It is peak hypocrisy. They knew exactly how disgusting their actions were, but their cravings simply outweighed their fear of divine judgment. The napkin became an indulgence, a piece of cloth separating the elite from basic human morality.
In 1979, the EU declared the ortolan a protected species. Because of barbaric poaching, their population had plummeted by 30%. Finally, in 1999, France caved to pressure from environmentalists and imposed a strict criminal ban on hunting, selling, and eating the bird. You'd think this savage tradition would fade into history. But the laws of the market work differently. The ban simply turned the ortolan from a delicacy into a criminal status symbol. Today, a massive agro-mafia operates in the south of France. Poachers set up invisible nets along the bird's migration routes. A single 1-ounce bird goes to the black market for up to $200 or $250 a pop. And these birds aren't being shipped to underground street food stalls. They go straight to the dark kitchens of elite Michelin-starred restaurants and highly exclusive private clubs. World-renowned chefs like Alain Ducasse have openly lobbied the French Parliament to allow ortolan to be served at least once a year, hiding behind the excuse of protecting national historical heritage. The police know exactly which chateaus host these secret dinners, but when the people sitting at the table with napkins on their heads are prosecutors, bankers, and government ministers, the justice system prefers to look the other way.